What's up, guys? We've got like all of the toys sitting out, but here's a toy you guys haven't seen in a while. It's the 1983 Jeep CJ7. I built this dash for it a while back, and I'm not too happy with how it turned out over time, so we're gonna make a new one. The new dash is going to be made out of a piece of walnut wood, black walnut to be specific. Here's how it looks with a nice coat of polyurethane on it. I didn't bother showing that, but it is a nice pretty piece of wood. Using the tube buggy for storage and also doing the poly finish. So this is going to be the base of the whole new dash. I think this black walnut will look great in that red and black CJ7. So yeah, this is the base of it. I'm not going to do out of metal, going to do a nice piece of wood. Within that piece of wood, we're going to do a triple gauge cluster for all of our essentials, as well as retain the original center cluster, center control. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and rip this prototype dash out and get started working on the new one. Alright, so old dash removed, and we're working on the first steps of getting the new dash hung before we measure everything else out. This is a cutout for the steering wheel. Here's how everything looks. That's where it's going to be. Smaller bolt for the windshield. That way the dash sits flush against the side of the cab. And yeah, using Tech screws to hang it in place for now. Those might be permanent. We'll see what we'll see how frisky I get in this build, but that's how I'm gonna mark where I need to drill. So yeah, that's what I'm using. Gonna go ahead and hang this side in, and get to work planning the rest of it. Hung before we measure everything else out. Okay, so we got everything mounted, and let me just go over a few nitpicky things I have about how it looks and how it's sitting. First thing is, there's this really ugly gap right here. I think what I'm going to do is plasma cut out a nice pretty plate. I wish Jake was around so he could CNC cut me out a nice plate that I can weld in right here or bolt in right here, like 1, 2, 3 bolts kind of thing. And that'll cover that gap up and also add some more probably chrome looking designs right here. So I think that's what I'm going to do for the sides to cover this gap. Top gap is kind of covered by the windshield anyway, so I'm not going to worry about it. And then for gauges, what I think I'm going to do is run a center odometer right here, and then my 3 gauges right in the middle, kind of following the knot of this wood. So that's the thoughts. That's how I think I'm going to do it. And you may be wondering, Matt, what are you going to do for switches? Nothing. Headlight switches, I'm going to use the high beam switch to turn on the headlights on the floorboard. And other than that, I could care less about switches. I only drive this during the day anyways. So yeah, that's how it looks. That's the progress with it being mounted. Here's kind of a bird's eye look of the thing. I think it'll look really pretty in there. And then once I get everything mounted, I'm going to do a couple more coats of the polyurethane. But for now, this is good to go. So yeah, I'm happy with that. Like I said, a few small nitpicky things left. But other than that, it should be pretty cool when it's done. At least I hope it is. So yeah, I'm stoked. I think that looks good. Some other notes about the 87. Some other notes about the 83 CJ is these are probably going to get some really pretty PRP seats, and I'll probably do a wheel to match the whole black chrome red look. So this has been my baby for over a decade now, and I'm a young guy, and to say that I've owned something for a decade is pretty cool to me, at least. Hopefully it's a couple more decades to come. So I'm pretty sure if the rest of my cars get the nice stuff and the nice toys and nice equipment, nice add-ons, I think my first car when I'm 16 should also get the nice toys and add-ons. So yeah, I think those are gonna get some red PRP seats and a better wheel. So yeah, 83 CJ7 coming along, wood dash, starting progress. Next step's gonna be to order parts. So I'm gonna order those parts, and I'll check back in when they get in the mail. See you guys in a week. What's up, guys? It's a hot day, and it's actually like 95 degrees. It's really hot, but we've been working on the red CJ. We've got all the other toys out, and yeah, we're making we're making progress on this dash. So let me explain to you where we're at and the next steps going forward. So as you can see, we got those side pieces of stainless in. We also have the gauge cluster in. Well, I should say partially in. This is just electrical tape for now before I 3D print a mold to fit that. But besides the case, this is where we're at. So everything looks And this gauge cluster is super easy to wire. I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see that, but there's 8 pins back there. Gauge installations are really just swapping out the old small black Chevy cinder gauges for those new brass electrical connectors. So yeah, that's kind of the wiring. It's not too complicated. I will say I do have to redo all the wiring in this red Jeep since this is years and different engines old. And at this point, it's just junk. So gonna have to rewire the whole Jeep eventually, but for now we're gonna call that good. So yeah, I'm gonna wire this up, make sure there's no leaks, and show you guys a nice pretty shot of it. I think that'd be pretty cool. Oil pressure sitting right above 50, water sitting at 150 at idle, volts at 14, and of course, you know me, the fuel gauge obviously doesn't work, so that's not gonna work for now. Maybe I will rewire that, but for now it's not gonna work. Alright guys, as you can see, I bought a drone. That was just some test footage. If the footage is a little choppy, here's an iPhone video to balance it out. But yeah, 1983 CJ7, looking fire, really dig it. Anyways, that's all for this one. Catch you guys next time. Legacy Farms, out.